But the worst gig was on a Virgin flight for Virgin Atlantic. I wasn't allowed to talk about it contractually for a while. I am now. They're wankers. I agreed to it on the basis the people on the flight would know some comedy was happening. They didn't. So it took off between Edinburgh and London, it was. Cabin crew did their announcements, and then they were just like, Joe, perform. So I stood up. Front row were a load of businessmen on laptops. At one point, one of them did laugh, and I thought, well, I've done well there. Then I realised he was watching Friends. Second row were a Muslim family with children, all wearing hijabs. I'm sure very nice. Probably not into poo-out knob-in gags. Somebody tried to walk out. I was meant to do 10 minutes. I did 2 minutes and 43 seconds. They helpfully told me afterwards. And I don't check Twitter, I don't search my own name on Twitter, but Mum does. She found this tweet, which was just on a Virgin flight between Edinburgh and London, and one of the cabin crew got up and did some shit comedy. Lovely. Well, that'll go on the DVD, won't it? Smashing. Yes. Johnny, in the TA. Did not know what to do about him. For a while, and then I realised I know exactly what to do about you, Johnny. I'll use Claire's wisdom, I'll use Claire's philosophy, I'll be ever so slightly weird with you. And I don't think this is this weird. I said to him, I don't like the name Johnny. I'm going to call you René. And then every time he said something hurtful, often it was misogynist, it just made me think that he was the butler to the Duchess. And it just took the sting out of everything he tried. God knows how it worked, but he hated it. I managed it maximum 4 times. We were in a nightclub that evening. A woman walked past us, and he leant over to me and went, look at those great jugs. About a woman. It's the 21st century. The only time I've said, look at those great jugs, is in the glassware section of John Lewis. It's the only time that's acceptable now, I'm afraid. And I went, oh, yes, lovely jugs, René. And he grabbed me, pulled me to one side. He went, right, let's get this sorted before the rest of the stag do continues. You've got 2 choices. We can be friends, or you can keep calling me René. Do you know what? I'll take route B, please, René. I didn't. I agreed to it reluctantly because I was trying to be diplomatic and we were sharing the same hostel together. Lads. And I just avoided him for a couple of days. That's what I did. I did go into the group the one day. I said, I'm just off to the shop to get some shampoo. Does anyone want anything? And he went, oh, can you get me some condoms? So I bought him a pack of condoms. And he looked at them and he went, oh, I don't like these. They're too tight. Any condom you buy, you can fit over your own head. If it's too tight, you have a medical emergency, I'd argue. Maybe he's using them wrong, some sort of sleeping bag system, I don't know. Love it in my little condom. I don't know. But he came out the shower the one day, he had his body out, a little towel round him, and I spotted a tattoo on his hip there. And I don't have a problem with tattoos, I don't have any myself, but it was a quote, and you know how I feel about quotes. Claire wanted a quote tattoo at one point, but she doesn't really read. And she said to me, she's like, do you know any good quotes? And I was like, well, I'll Google some. I found one that she quite liked. It was, I believe in one thing only, the power of human will. And she's like, oh, that's lovely. Who's that by? Stalin. I'd Googled quotes by evil people. That's what I'd done. She could have had it. So I get it, get a quote tattoo, fine, do whatever, I don't care. But just make sure you've read the book the quote's from. Because I said to Johnny, oh, can I see what that quote is? And he went, oh, yeah, a few of the lads in the unit, we got drunk and got tattoos. Can't remember what it means exactly. It says, cogito ergo sum, which I think means I think I am. Now, some of us may know this, it means I think, therefore I am, so he was close. And I thought about it for a minute. I said, Johnny, you do know that quote's by a guy called Descartes. You do know Descartes' first name was René. What was that? Google it. And he Googled it. Oh, fuck off, we should scratch it out. In for a penny, in for a pound. Says, you do know Descartes was a very prominent homosexual. He wasn't, I just made it up. And what that quote means is, I think, therefore I am. And what it means is, even if you think just a little bit that you're gay, you are gay. That's what it means. That's true.